So I am very close to my mom's. I am telling her today that I'm pregnant, and the way that I'm doing it is Rosie has a shirt on that says promoted to Big Sister 2022. That's what it says. Yeah. And I'm a little nervous, but I feel like not much feelings or emotions has kicked in towards telling my mom versus the last time, probably because this is my second one and I know she's gonna be excited, and it also kind of alleviates some nerves because my dad won't be here yet unless he already got home, and if he did, then I'm just gonna pray about it before walking in. But yeah, so I'm about 5 minutes away, and I'm gonna try to record her reaction. I don't know if I'll be able to, or if I do start recording, like what all I'll catch, because she's gonna be right in the living room as soon as we walk in, and obviously I can't set up a phone prior to coming in. So, and if I'm recording as I'm coming in, it'll be like obvious, because I kind of wanted to see how long it'll take her to read Rosie's shirt, because there's been times Rosie's walked in and they just like, you know, didn't really pay attention, especially if they're not, you know, she's not expecting this today. I forgot to add that I am telling her by myself because Josh doesn't get off work until 6, and I just cannot hold it in any longer. Supposedly I'll be 5 weeks tomorrow, and it feels like I've known for so long, since I've known for almost 2 weeks, because I found out literally as soon as I got pregnant when I went to the doctor to get blood work the other day, because that's right, I haven't updated anything, but last week I went to the doctor to get blood work, and she was like, you got pregnant in the parking lot. Talking about me being 3 weeks in a few days. So yeah, telling her by myself. I don't really care to. I guess some things just change a little bit when it's your second one, but not that it's any less special or anything, but yeah, I just couldn't hold it any longer. And she made baked spaghetti, so I'm starving now. I just got out of an orientation. It is June 13th, 4:15 p.m. And yeah, I'm hungry. Me and Rosie are hungry, so. And I finally get to not hide my belly so much, because when I tell y'all my stomach is showing like crazy already, like, yeah, you know, you get the bloat in the beginning, but I'm gonna say, you know, that's because of baby too, because you wouldn't be bloating like that if you weren't pregnant. But like, even with Rosie, you know, I showed earlier than normal, and I don't want to say than normal, but I showed earlier than most. And it was just because of being underweight, and two, even if I wasn't underweight, just having a small frame, because I'm not underweight now. I'm actually at a healthy normal weight, but I still have a very small frame. But, you know, you showed earlier with your second. So yeah, I will do an actual video regarding all of the first few weeks and symptoms before testing positive, and belly pictures. And oh my gosh, my dad is here. Now I feel like I'm gonna pass out. Oh my god. Okay.
There they are. I was just telling him that little thing as soon as she got on the phone said, Pop, where's Pop? Hey! And I said she wanted a bite of my spaghetti. There you are. You want some spaghetti? Justin can. What's her shirt? I'm being... Shut up. Shut up!
Oh, Lord.
Oh, no! Oh, my God!
You're scaring her.
Oh, I'm
Okay. So, long time no see. It's actually been, I don't know, a little over a week or something like that since I last videoed telling my mom. And today we had our first ultrasound, and I'm actually 6 weeks, 1 day today. A few days behind than what I thought, especially since I had to have an ultrasound last week because of some pain. And it's because I have a cyst on my left ovary. So I got an ultrasound this week, and all we saw was a gestational sac last week, which they said was completely normal. Of course, it was nerve-wracking though, but yeah, so I had to get, oh, and I got my levels checked last week too, and they were at 14,000, so I was like, oh my gosh. We get another ultrasound in 4 weeks, as well as doing the genetic testing. But we're getting another ultrasound in 4 weeks because my doctor is just monitoring that cyst. He said right now it's small and it's completely clear fluid, like a balloon. He said, which is what they want to see. They don't want it to look hard or anything, so that's good. I'm just praying that it just disappears because I don't want to deal with the pain of it rupturing, and of course we don't want it to continue growing any bigger with the pregnancy. So just praying about that, which I know everything will be okay. Here's Rosie. We took a nap, so her hair is a little crazy. Say, I have a sibling. Look at your shirt. Say hi.
Hi.
Say, I'm gonna be 2.
A 2.
2.
Gate.
Yep, that's the gate. I love you.
Hi.
Okay. Say, see you later.
I like it.
Say bye.
Bye.
Okay, sorry for the way the phone is set up, and please ignore the way that I look. Yeah, this is not a good angle at all. Oh my gosh, this looks horrible, and these like red pimples. Whatever, I guess I'll keep this in there because this is pregnancy. So the last update I gave was the ultrasound I had yesterday, and they dated me at 6 weeks and 1 day. Yeah, they dated me at 6 weeks and 1 day, which was just a few days behind what I actually thought, or just a couple actually. I mean, what I thought from the beginning, I thought that I would be like 6 weeks, 3 days. I think that's what I thought. Yeah. But last week I had to get an ultrasound because of dealing with some pain, and I had to get the COVID vaccine, my second COVID vaccine, for a new job that I got. Oh my gosh, you can't even see me. For a new job that I got, and had a really bad reaction to it, and I was dealing with cramping and stuff, and I was super stressed, and I was just like, oh no, like, what's happening? So I went to the doctor last week, and he went ahead and did an early ultrasound just to make sure, that the pregnancy is where it's supposed to be, and it was. We saw the gestational sac, just the gestational sac, and it was actually measuring 5 weeks, 5 days. So that put me like 4 days ahead of what they originally had me down, because they were going by the first day of my last period, but I actually ovulate early because I have a shorter cycle. I don't have a longer cycle. And what was I gonna say? Oh my gosh, my mind just went so blank. I forgot all about how bad this can be during pregnancy. I mean, it never went away after having Rosie, and it's definitely hard being a mom because you just get mom brain, but pregnancy is just like, but yeah, the gestational sac was measured in 5 weeks, 5 days. And when they did my blood work, and when they called me, it was actually last Friday. I went last Thursday, but they actually called me last Friday to kind of go over it with me. And she was like, and your blood levels were 14,000, so that puts you at right at 6 weeks. And I was like, okay, so I really am 6 weeks, which means I literally got pregnant the night of the wedding, or because I couldn't have been any earlier, 100%. And because we actually waited for marriage, which I could do like a whole nother video on that, if there's people out there that are starting like their faith journey and just like really trying to handle things that they're being convicted of, but that's a whole different thing. So yeah, I was like, either I am 6 weeks and I literally got pregnant the night of the wedding, like it just happened that quickly, or I am still just 5 weeks and I just have high HCG levels, which I was like twins. So I had to go back this week for another viability scan to make sure that there was a baby with a heartbeat and actually see how far along I am and all that. So that was good that there was a baby with a heartbeat, which I knew there was. I have faith. I trust the Lord. It was a little nerve-wracking, not seeing anything last time, but that was completely normal. But I had faith in the Lord. And so today I'm 6 weeks 2 days, and I have been sick. Yesterday made a week that I've been dealing with nausea, so it hit at 5 weeks and a day. But this time around, it's not nearly as severe as it was with Rosie. It sucks, don't get me wrong. Having morning sickness or all day sickness sucks, but I can definitely say 100% that it was not nearly as severe as it was with my daughter, because when I went to her 6-week ultrasound, she was 6 weeks 3 days when I got the first ultrasound with her, and I went in, barely even remembered the ultrasound. I have a video up already, and you can see how sick I was throughout that video. But yeah, I barely even remembered anything. Right after the ultrasound, I seen my doctor, and it wasn't even but a couple seconds, and he told Josh to take me straight to the hospital to get fluids because I was hyperemesis. I felt like death. Like, I did not think that I was going to make it, and to some that sounds dramatic, but I really didn't think I was going to make it because I was just so unhealthy and underweight. And the way that sickness took over me, I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink, I was peeing on myself and throwing up. I was just so sick. And then the mental load that comes from that, and the depression, but still trying to be grateful because you got pregnant. It's very tormenting to go through something like that, especially when not everybody understands, and that was something that I dealt with during that time too. At that point in time, we had just moved in with my parents, which was a blessing, because looking back, I don't know how I would have ever survived me and Josh still having our own place and not being with my parents, so that way they could take care of me throughout the day when he was at work. But yeah, not everybody understood. They thought it was just all morning sickness, but no, it wasn't just morning sickness. And I feel like it's kind of become like a trend almost, just because morning sickness can be bad, okay? Like, you can have bad morning sickness, but there is an extreme fine line between bad morning sickness and being hyperemesis. Like, I literally thought I was dying, and there's no other way to put it. So yeah, but this time, the nausea is pretty much constant. I do get some relief here and there, small breaks, like maybe 2 times a day, maybe 3 times a day. I get a small break where I don't have any nausea for the moment. And honestly, well, I feel like I'm kind of putting my foot in my mouth, Because honestly, if I just stayed on top of eating, I wouldn't even necessarily feel sick. Because it's more so just because I can't eat. That's the only reason why I get sick. And this time I've only thrown up twice, but with Rose, I've threw up twice and I've dry heaved twice. And that's like nothing. That is literally nothing. That would be me on a good day when I was pregnant with Rosie. In just one day, if I threw up twice and dry heaved twice. So like 4 different little spells in one day, that would have been quite a good day for Rosie. But this is in a whole week span. I've only thrown up twice and dry heaved twice. Everything else is just nasty nausea. And that comes from having major food aversions. With Rosie, I had food aversions, but I more so was ravenous, like so hungry all the time. I was so hungry all the time. I always had big cravings. Like there was always something I was craving. It's just the kick was I knew I was going to be sick if I ate it, no matter what I ate. Now, especially if I tried to make myself eat something that I wasn't craving, it would definitely send me into a throw up spell. But with Rosie, I was just throwing up constantly. I was still ravenously hungry and I had big cravings. But with this one, I've had cravings here and there, especially before the nausea hit. At 5 weeks one day, I had big cravings. And it was already a difference, even though only being 5 weeks, it was already a difference compared to my first pregnancy. Because with Rosie, as soon as I found out at 3 weeks, I was standing in front of the fridge, couldn't move away from the fridge, eating out of the fridge. Like I had such strong cravings. Like I'd already was hit with pregnancy fatigue, couldn't keep my eyes open. Like I was sleeping like 6 hours a day. Like it hit me like that, like a bus, like a train. And with this one, I just had cravings. One of my biggest cravings was just wanting fried chicken and hot sauce. And I wasn't tired. I had a little bit of fatigue leading up before getting a positive test. But then like once I got a positive test, I just wasn't like, I haven't been tired like that. Like I don't take naps throughout the day. I did yesterday, but it was just because I ate a big meal and it made me very content and I just wanted to lay down and relax. So I laid down with Rosie while she was napping and I took a nap. But yeah, I've just had huge food aversions. Like nothing sounds good. Everything is gross. Everything is just gross. And I'm lucky if I finally throughout the day get hit with a craving all of a sudden and I have to get it immediately, because by that point I'm already so sick because I haven't ate. But like I finally found a trick 2 days ago. Oh my gosh, that movement just made me dizzy. Things like that, like that's what I'm talking about. So I finally found a trick 2 days ago. I went to the store. I was in survival mode. Josh was working and I knew I needed to get some snacks for myself. And I was like, okay, like pull yourself together to be able to go to the store and grab some ginger ale and like some muffins, some fruit really, really quick. So I came down here to Kroger and I got me some ginger ale. They didn't have the regular one, so I got the ginger ale with lemonade, which is actually good. They didn't have any muffins for some reason. It was like their day that they were stocking stuff. But when I tell you I was like about to pass out because I hadn't had anything, like TMI, but like I almost like pooped on myself, I almost threw up and almost passed out like all at the same time. That's how bad the wave hit me. And I was like, I'm about to open up this case right here and drink a ginger ale. I almost did. And really I should have. But so I got a case of that. I got some green grapes because that actually sounded good. Nothing sweet. I have not wanted nothing sweet. Everything sweet disgusts me. It literally, I can't think about it or it'll make me throw up. But I did grab some Pop-Tarts because the thought of a brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tart, that was like the only thing that sounded decent to me. and I got some cereal because I needed some cereal. But I got those breakfast shakes, those little like morning breakfast shakes, and I was like, this will probably come in handy. So I drank one on the way home, and it, you know, brought me back to life. And so actually the past 2 days I've been drinking them as soon as I wake up in the morning, because I wake up pretty early, like 6 in the morning. So I drink one as soon as I wake up, because it helps with that feeling of, you know, my body needs to eat every hour, and I can't eat while I'm sleeping. So when I wake up from sleeping, that's when everything feels the worst. So I drink one in the morning. If I really have to, I'll drink one in the middle of the day. But I try and drink one before bed to kind of help me a little bit through my sleep. So I'll be going through those super fast. They only come in a pack of like 6 or something like that, so I need to get some more. But yeah, so everything leads up to right now, 6 weeks, 2 days. I did the sneak peek gender test, and by the time you guys are seeing all of this stuff, I've already had the gender confirmed. I'm probably at least 15 weeks along, and I've finally announced it, because I kind of just wanted to keep it to myself, because I announced right after I got my 6-week ultrasound with Rosie. Just prayed and prayed and prayed about it, and I was like, Lord, I just want this to be according to your plan. Only if you see me fit to be a mother again, and only if you see me fit to be a mother right now or soon. I only want it if that's what you think, if you see me fit, if it's your plan right now. And then, Lord willing, it happened, and we're here. And this baby is a blessing, just a blessing in so many different ways. Me, you know, having health issues, Josh having health issues, and I didn't even say, but when I went to the ultrasound, the pain that I was having is because I have a cyst on my ovary. And, you know, women out there deal with not being able to get pregnant because of, you know, having cysts on their ovaries. And I'm so thankful. Right now I'm in a stage where not that I can't, but I don't want to ask the Lord of anything. I'm just coming to him with thanks. I'm just so thankful. I'm just so thankful. But yeah, so I did the sneak peek gender test, and I'm actually at the post office. I went on a whole rant, but I'm actually at the post office to drop it off. They offer it as early now as 6 weeks, which is freaking crazy. And I was like, at first I was like, should I really do this right now? Should I wait a little bit? I had a friend that did it, and it was correct. And, you know, a lot of people do it, and it is correct. And I've heard the stories of it being wrong, especially if you don't follow their rules. If there's any contamination. If it comes back a girl, it's pretty much 100% that you're going to have a girl. But if it comes back a boy, there's a chance that it was contaminated by male DNA. Now, I went in Rosie's room and I disinfected a hard surface in her room, since, you know, she's a girl and Josh isn't in there too much. You know, it's not like our bedroom where he's at, or the kitchen table where he sits at every single day. So I disinfected it and wiped it down, and I followed all of the directions. I really did. So I'm really hoping and praying that there was no contamination. Okay, sorry for this setup as well. I said it made my forehead look weird right there. But my phone died, and I was talking about any contamination with the gender can. Sorry, my mood has changed. You're seeing it real and raw. A nausea wave that hit. Just when my phone died, I just took that into the post office and I went to Wendy's. And I got a spicy nugget, which I'm probably going to regret because of the freaking heartburn. But I've been craving spicy stuff. There's nothing else I could think of quicker, and honestly, I'm even surprised that I even thought of something, because everything just is gross. I'm parked at McDonald's. because I think I want to get a Coke slushie. It's not really what I want. I want a snow cone so bad. But I don't have to drive across the bridge, which I was going to do, but I'll have to get gas first, and I don't feel like doing all that right now. It's in my throat. I don't have nothing to drink. This line is way too long. I'd rather just do curbside pickup. Yeah, about the contamination stuff. I don't know how people eat in videos. Like, I feel so like disrespectful, like rude. So when it comes back a boy, pretty much just have to tread lightly until we get it confirmed. I have another appointment scheduled for 4 weeks from yesterday, July 21st, to see my doctor and for another ultrasound because of the cyst. Just monitoring it. Yeah, so that's when he said that's when we'll do the blood test, check for like abnormalities, and it tells you the gender. I got it done with Rosie at 9.5 weeks, so we'll get it confirmed then. But I'm pretty confident in myself. Like, I really paid attention to instructions, and not to shoot my own horn, but from someone that like was in nursing school and knows all about, you know, having to be sterile and having a sterile field and stuff. I really tried to make sure of that. We'll be happy if it's a boy because obviously it'll be our first son. Different from having a daughter. We'd love to have a boy. Both grandparents would be so excited because it would be their first boy or their first grandson. My mama has 3 granddaughters already. Well, it'd be the first boy on Josh's parents' side. That is if his brother, or my brother and sister-in-law, aren't having a boy because they're pregnant too. I'm only 5 weeks behind them, 5.5 weeks. So there's gonna be 2 newborns back to back. It's crazy. They already know their gender. But their gender reveal is Sunday. It's Friday. What I was gonna say was, if it's not a boy, I would be so thrilled to have another little girl. I'm so happy either way. Would love to have a little boy, but I'm so happy either way. You know, and I feel like a lot of people say that, but like I really truly mean it, because I mean, I already have so much girl stuff, so much girl clothes, and a lot of like baby stuff, like a walker or whatever. I have like, it's girl. It wasn't gender neutral.